Yes, anyway.
Right, a little bit of a sip.
I'll take a sip too. I'm drinking today out of, it says on the cup, Brodir Stedman Brothers. That's probably said that very wrong.
Can you just... Okay, but say that in an English accent.
Brodir Stedman Brothers.
There you go.
Brodder.
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 It's from, in case you're interested, which you're probably not, it's from the Abergavenny Food Festival in Wales, which, by the way, is an absolute slam if you want to go to it. It's amazing.
Where?
Abergavenny?
No, where did I ask?
Swear down. You literally got me with that just last night, twice.
Yeah, I know. As well as Mind Goblins and Sea of Thieves.
I'm not even interested.
Oh, it was so easy.
I've got.
Anyway,
Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm just not going to respond to anything you say. That's how I'm going to protect myself.
well, that's going to be a fucking great podcast. I'll tell you what.
But in the Abergavenny Food Festival, there's a place called the Chin Chin Bar. I don't know what that means in Welsh, if that means anything or if that's just its name.
Chin Chin.
Chin Chin.
Chin Chin's like where you clink glasses, isn't it? Chin Chin.
Is it?
Yeah, I think that's what Chin Chin means.
Oh.
You clink glasses. Either
way, every single graphic on this cup seems to relate to a bar or alcohol.
Nice.
I don't know what that's saying.
Typical Welsh.
But there you go.
I mean, it just speaks UK, doesn't it?
Apparently,
Alcohol.
We are one of the worst countries for binge drinking, aren't we? I'm sure there's a statistic somewhere.
I think we are the worst.
Yeah.
Maybe Russia.
No, I think they all just have high quality vodka in small amounts.
I don't think they have it in small amounts. I think they brush their teeth with it.
No. They have it in small amounts. They only have sort of a litre at a time.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Anyway, Joel.
Yes.
So, me and you are trapped on an island.
Right.
Okay, that's it. I've teleported you to an island with me. Big smile on my face, like Wagwan.
Is it a creepy
G.
smile or is it a confident smile?
It's very much a creepy smile of like, you're trapped in an island with me now.
Great.
And what?
And what? What are you going to do?
Say goodbye to your girlfriend. Say goodbye to your dog.
I don't have a dog.
You're with me. You do have a dog.
Oh, I do. You're right. I have a dog. My family has a dog. I don't live with a dog.
No. Yeah, but that's... Never mind. What are our roles? How would we survive? What would we do to survive besides obviously procreate? At least attempt to.
With each other or the wildlife?
Both. Why not?
Both. Yeah. Let's make it a little bit.
What do you think the creepy smiles for?
That's a mating ritual.
Exactly. You come to my island, see the smile, down bad. Simple as.
Okay, so let's say that this is an island in the middle of the sea that no one's ever discovered. So it's still, virgin territory. It's not been spoilt. There's not litter everywhere, and there isn't a bar just up the beach a little bit and what have you. I don't know what you said, but let's just crack on, shall we? And I want to know, what does this island look like? What am I dealing with?
So you're currently dealing with a sandy beach,
nice,
all around the outskirts. Okay. And as it goes up, it almost is like a tiny volcano. So it gradually is on an incline up to the middle of the island. And as you get closer into the middle, there's like jungle, trees, types of... There are some wildlife there, but we'll get into that later on. And at the very tip of the island, there is a small lava lake. So we're on a volcano.
Oh, it's an active volcano.
One. Yeah. But it's like a volcano island. It's like Hawaii.
we're on Hawaii.
But smaller. Smaller.
When you say smaller, whereabouts is this mountain in relation? Is it like a 25-minute walk? Is it a couple of miles? Is it literally a couple of 100 feet? How small are we talking?
Oh, it would probably take us maybe like an hour or two to get to the middle.
Oh, okay. So it's fairly sizable.
Like just
island.
hiking.
Yeah.
Couple miles, it's a normal island size.
It's normal island size. Good.
So it's a normal island boy. You know what I mean?
Island boy. Okay. No, first of all, this sounds like absolute paradise. And if you can tell me where this is, I might go there anyway. It sounds wonderful.
Sure.
what would I do? I think the first thing I'd want to do is establish a water source. Surely that's got to be the first thing you do, right? Standard procedure.
But this is what I mean by roles. Are we doing that together, or am I gonna be like, yo, Joel, you're Lunkman dad bod. You go get wood. You get wood. You get some wood. Start fire. Caveman. Me look for water source. Me go find tree. Get sap. Water.
Get sap? What are you getting sap for?
You can drink tree sap.
Can you? You can drink tree sap.
I see. This is where brains brawn. Clearly, that's the two different roles so far.
So you've watched more Bear Grylls than I have. Tell me, how do you drink sap? How does that? Because surely sap hardens, doesn't
it? Sap's a bit weird. So you can knock a like a hole into a tree, right?
Yeah.
And you can, if you got a piece of wood sharp enough, you can knock a hole into a tree if the tree's quite like moist.
Fresh.
If the bark on it is quite moist, yeah. And it will start dripping a little bit of sap, which is actually quite nutritious for you.
Nutritious sap.
So in the same way that you'd get maple syrup, you just have to knock it into the tree.
Right, okay. Well, yeah, so if you would go and get wood to start with, find some sap, I'll try and find a water source. The only problem we've got, though, is we don't know...
I'm getting the fucking sap and the wood.
Well, okay, we'll both get wood, that's fine. All right, chill out.
I literally just said, Dad bod, you've got big arms, you can carry a lot of wood. Okay? Are you not the muscle here?
I can be, but I'm going to waste away pretty soon.
We've been on this fucking island less than 10 minutes and we're already fighting.
Listen, if you don't get sap soon, this dad bod, you're going to wave goodbye to it. So what I'd probably say, though, is we stick together initially because we don't know what's in there. We don't know if there are any tribes or any kind of people on this island. We need to make sure that we're safe enough and that we're keeping our eyes peeled for any kind of hunting opportunities or hunters that may try and kill us.
Okay. So we're working together. We're going to find some wood. We're going to find some water, if there is any. And if not, we can just find a water source that we can make sterilized water from.
Yeah, distilled, like when you...
Sterilized.
Do you mean when you boil it and then it condensates?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, well, there's also, apparently there's another way you can do it. This might just be an episode of me teaching you how to live in the wild, okay? From shit that I've watched when it's like been 4 a.m. at night and I've been scrolling fucking through videos of,
This is where this comes into play. This is where it's useful.
So, what you can do, right, you can get water, dirty water, doesn't matter, okay? So you can scoop it and keep it in a container. Then you get some rocks.
Yes.
Like it can be pebbles, it can be just normal rocks, and you get them really, really hot. Okay? And once they're like piping hot, you just chuck them in the water and that instantly sterilizes the water.
Is that true? Does that happen?
Yeah.
Because I thought you were going to talk about get some rocks, then get some gravel, then get some sand and just do filtration and filter it.
You could do that as well. But like to quickly sterilize water, you can apparently you can just chuck rocks into dirty water and it will sterilize it.
Okay, so if by the time they find us on this island, because I'm sure they're going to start looking eventually, you'd hope. By the time they find us, we've either died of some kind of waterborne disease that the rocks didn't quite get, or they're looking out for it for a dad bod, and a slim dude, and they were just two slim dudes. They're like, these are obviously the wrong guys. We got to leave.
Yeah, and they just ditch.
They just ditch.
Like, sorry, mate, not interested. I'm only here for the dad bod.
So I'd be well up for going to find water. Now I wouldn't want to stray too far away from the shore. My question to you is, how did we get here?
Oh, I don't know. I woke up on the same beach you did.
Yeah, we're just sharing a beach.
Yeah, we're just sharing a beach, top and tail. We just ended up here.
Okay, because if there's been a kind of a boat crash or a plane crash or something, surely there's going to be a little bit of debris or something we can use floating around in the same water.
Let's say it was a boat crash. Then what would you do?
a boat crash or, whatever happened to the boat, well, then I'd look around for some debris. I'd look around for any kind of useful tools that might have washed ashore with us. Maybe just bits of metal that we could use to, create tools or, use as shelter or anything like that.
All right, so what tool would you... If there was one tool that you hope you could find on a boat, what would it be? Like if there was one specific tool that you're looking for, being like, oh my god, if we could have this tool, life sorted.
It's like a battery-powered multi-tool. All you need is a mains plug.
Okay.
No.
Serious answers only, please, Joel.
I would probably say I could just imagine a hammer being the useful thing, because
a hammer,
you've got, obviously you can knock things together, you've got spiky sides that you can use to kind of pick at things, and you can also pull things and lever things with a hammer. So something like a hammer I could imagine being quite useful, or a crowbar.
Okay,
simple.
All right, so you've gone rummaging through this boat debris and you found your hammer.
Yes.
All right, I've gone rummaging through, I found a knife, flip knife.
A flip knife. How long is the flip knife? What kind of...
Like, I don't know, a normal flip knife size.
Like you like the pocket knife kind of size, or a bit bigger?
Yeah. Like, okay. We'll say a pocket knife. I don't know, or like a military boot knife.
At least it's legal. Like. That's always good.
Yeah. That is very true. We're not lawbreakers, okay? We're island boys. So, I found a knife. You found a hammer. Then what do we do? What's the next? Because I reckon. Okay, so we've gone out. We've looked. We've located water source. Very happy. We're like, awesome. It's a stream coming down the mountain. It's a bit dirty, so we're gonna have to sterilize it. We got wood on the go. Shelter. The sun is setting.
Before that,
like, oh shit.
I've got a test for you. I've got a Bear Grylls binge test that you should know the answer to this, I hope. What's the first thing that you do when you find a water source, a flowing water source?
What's the first thing that you do when you find a flowing water source?
Yeah, the one like golden rule of a flowing water source.
See where it's coming from?
Yes. Good man. You have a look.
I'm so smart, man. I'm so smart. Honestly, I probably live on an island by myself.
Big brain. Big brain.
I'm big man, big brain. Okay.
Because my dad taught me this when we were actually climbing up Snowdon as kids. There was a stream, and it's like Snowdon. So it's like the most basic mountain you can climb. It's like you can do it in a couple of hours. But there was a stream, and we were like, we were going to get some fresh water from the stream for our bottles, and our dad said, "Whoa, a second, check upstream, make sure there are no like dead animals right upstream that you're just going to be drinking." And we're like,
"What's your dad sound like?"
I don't know, actually. I've never tried to do an impression of my dad.
I don't know what your dad sounds like.
Well, no, I know what he sounds like, but I don't know how to do an impression of him.
Oh, wow.
Okay. He's not...
Let down.
Because he's raised me, I think speak too similarly for me to do an impression of him. I'll have to study him more.
Just study your dad's mannerisms for next time, thank you. Carry on.
So, yeah, you're right. The sun's setting, and we're like, shit. The monsters are about to come out. The ghouls... We need to find shelter. So let's say we've had a look around and there are no bits of useful metal.
You didn't finish your story with your dad. He said check upstream because of what?
For dead animals and things. Like a sheep that's just conked it. Because you don't want to be drinking dead animal juice, because that's pretty bad, apparently.
Yeah, true. Diseases.
So, you want to make sure that if you're going to drink it straight from the stream, you want to make sure that it's as clean as possible. And if there is a dead animal, you just go above.
Yeah, true.
So let's say we couldn't find any metal or any kind of useful shelter bits. We found a hammer, and you found what was it again? Your knife. Yeah, you found
my flip knife, and we got some we got some wood from the boat. We'll say we get a little bit of like wood debris that we're using for the fire, as well as the tree wood.
Nice. Okay. So the next thing for me is, obviously it's best if we can sleep off the floor.
Yes. Because the floor... See, I was hoping you would say that. The next step for shelter is above ground.
Yeah.
Always.
I mean, I don't mind a couple of tree ants crawling all over me, but all of the floor bugs, they can just go to hell. Not interested.
Poisonous spiders.
Yeah, although to be fair, a tree's not going to stop them, is it?
Well, if you're elevated above ground, say if we could build a hammock for argument's sake, you'd have less less of a chance of being attacked by a spider.
Mm-hmm.
And less of a chance of being attacked by, a bear, a tiger, cougar, any of those.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, how do we build our hammocks? How do we build our little shelter in the woods?
Right. So my actual faith in me building my own hammock is pretty minimal. Right. I don't believe that I could build a hammock that would last a whole night without dropping me on my ass at some point. So what I'd probably do is I'd probably find a tree and I would set down as best I could. I'd set down some long sticks across. Do you know where the main trunk of the tree is, and then it starts to branch out into smaller stems?
Okay, yeah.
Set something flat down there. Maybe tie some like a stretcher almost. Tie some find some leaves to tie some wood together, and then put some leaves on top of that, and kind of lie on that, almost like a stretcher in a tree. Is my best guess.
Okay.
But you tell me, because I think you're probably going to be the one that makes a hammock, so you can make my hammock. But tell me how you do it.
Well, I think what I would try and do would be find, depending on what kind of trees we've got, see if we could find the really thick leaves. Like the palm leaves or stuff like that. The ones that are quite like old bamboo, that are quite malleable. And if I can't find any of that, maybe a little bit of flexible wood. Like use my knife to trim off strips of wood. Okay. Then what I would try and do is wrap it over one another. Like do that kind of like cross knit wrap.
Yeah, I know.
Do that. And then tie it up with whatever type of hemp I could find. If there was any hemp rope or hemp to make into rope, and tie that as well. That's what I would try and do. But while I'm doing all the hard work, making hammocks for us, if possible, what are you gonna do? I'll be like, yo, Joel, listen, stop watching me with a hard on whilst I'm making a hammock for you. I'm not making two. We're sleeping in the same one. What are you gonna do?
Well, if we've got hemp, then surely we can make some other sort of fun stuff from that, right?
Like what?
Weed. No.
Okay. You're just gonna get baked on the island.
Gonna get baked
24/7.
No. While you're doing that, what I'd probably do is I'd probably try and find a way to build a contraption that can get us some food. So, maybe some simple spears would be good. Maybe a kind of contraption that we can throw on a small animal. Like almost a net style thing.
Because we live next to a volcano, you could get some obsidian and make spears out of obsidian.
Can you imagine? My only reservation with obsidian is if you were to throw it at an animal and it was to shatter when it went in the animal, then you might be, you might have bits. I wouldn't want to swallow obsidian because I bet that would really hurt.
Yeah, but you just make it into a spear, right?
I know, but it's quite brittle, isn't it? So if it hit like a bone or something, it would shatter.
Yeah, there is that. But what else are you going to use?
Well, I guess just like spiky wood or stones. Find a nice spiky stone and put that on the end of a wooden stick.
Okay. To be fair, you do have a hammer, so you can just you can maybe sharpen that stone.
Do you know there's one thing that I think would only hit you when you were there, but for a lot of us, we've only ever seen exotic animals in a zoo. We've only, and that's to be fair, as exciting as it is, it's also kind of really sad to see that because they are captured and they're not free, and they do suffer with things like depression or what have you. So, if you were on a desert island or a kind of exotic island, it would be the first time you'd have ever seen these animals in person,
the wild.
And to straight away turn your mind onto trying to kill them, I feel would be a really strange process to go through. I feel like I'd be quite sad. Because you'd be like...
You're the one talking about killing them, not me. I'm fucking making beds. Okay?
Alright, don't tell me you're vegan.
You're in that seat. No, I'd be like Doofus. I'd be making friends. Okay? I'd be walking around, offering out bits of my flesh for bits of theirs. Trading. Economy. Wall Street meat shop.
The Jordan Belfort of the exotic island butcher.
Yeah. I'm going to sell you this pen. For your leg.
It's like, do you mind if I tried a bit of your thigh?
Let me just nibble. Go on, a little bit of a... smells lovely. You want some purified water?
Some purified... Yeah, do you want some hot rock water?
Yeah. But I do have a knife as well. I could just be like... and just... dead.
Yeah, they're like, we were doing business and now you've assaulted me. What is this?
I could just walk up to the animals and be like, listen, I have a dad bod over there. Tastes really good. You let me live. You can have him.
No, you're gonna need me. You're gonna need me to talk to, because when things get sad and things get difficult, there's no footballs, there's no Wilsons, right?
Okay, I mean it was a volleyball, but sure. I
keep forgetting. It's round and it's like a football. You can kick it, right? It works.
Okay. Have you ever tried to kick a volleyball?
I have. They just veer off wherever they want to go because they're so light.
Exactly.
So boom.
Anyway,
and it has that hollow kind of pang. Do you know what I mean? That kind of hollow sound when you kick them. I tell you one thing. Bang. Speaking of volleyballs, have you had I know this is a complete tangent. Have you had the experience of barefoot kicking a football on a beach? Is there nothing more painful than that?
There is one thing more painful, and that's barefoot kicking a basketball.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Why'd you do that?
Because we didn't have a football, and we couldn't play basketball on a beach, so we had we just tried to kick it instead, and it was solid.
Surely at that point you've got to weigh up your cost for enjoyment, and that ratio can't work out positive.
I don't know. I grew up playing football, so kicking a ball with bare feet wasn't that bad. So I thought, basketball, no issues. Bonk, broken toe. You know?
Yeah, and then you're walking around with your toes strapped together like Spock.
Okay, don't get that reference, but sure.
Well, no, just because he's got the two fingers that go together.
Oh, the hand symbol. Okay,
the hands.
Yeah.
It was a stretch.
Yeah, exactly. You're talking to the wrong person. Shit franchise. Go
on, watch episode 5 if you're interested in that.
But yeah, so you're gonna try and kill animals, are you?
Well, I'm gonna go
try and hunt them down.
Let me assess the land first. Let me see what I can find, because if there's an animal out there, it could be, could it be worth entrapping it? Could it be worth actually trying to cultivate these animals?
Oh, here we go.
Let's say we found some
enslaving
pigs.
Bees. Here we go again.
Let's say we found some pigs, right? I just want to get them in a pen and let them do their thing. Hopefully, they're not all. I mean, presumably, they are. If we found them on this island, they must be reproducing. They must have some kind of ecosystem going on.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they'd have been dead a long time ago.
And then you're going to make your own personal zoo, are you? After saying it was so sad.
But it's going to be a really nice zoo. They're going to have different channel options for TV and room service, pen service.
I'm pretty sure that's what the owners of zoos say as well. It's but my zoo's a bit nicer. It's really not. Never is.
Well, they'll have toilets.
They're animals. They can just do it wherever. The island is their toilet.
But yeah, let's. I'm gonna go and find some animals, and I think what I tried to do is I tried to capture some smaller animals initially, because obviously, it's hot. I imagine, and meat will only stay for so long.
Do you think you could catch a bird or kill a bird?
I
think you'd be quick enough.
I've tried to pick up a pigeon before, and it didn't go very well. So that's kind of the closest I've ever been to that. I don't think I'd ever be able to catch a bird. I could try and throw a stone at one, see if you can knock it out of a tree or something, but I don't know how successful I'd be.
So when you say a smaller prey, what are you talking about then?
Well, anything that's like a squirrel size, or that kind of things that don't fly, things that stay on the ground. Maybe it's a small kind of hog type creature, something that you could perceivably throw like a net over and then bag it up and walk off with it.
Where are you getting a net from?
Well, this is what I'm saying. Your hemp.
My hemp.
Yeah. I'm gonna tap
my
into
hard
Gareth's
work. Fucking hell. Here we go. So this is where it starts. Okay. So I'm out here. I found the water source. I've
No, we
purified
found
the
the water
water
source.
I've found the water source. We've purified the water. I've built beds. I've started the fire. What have you done so far?
We found the water source.
Joe.
You've started building beds. I'm capturing animals. You're making some rope. Apparently, I'm making rope too. I'm filtrating the water, using the proper method while you're just throwing hot rocks everywhere. So, I don't know. You tell me, buddy.
Hot rocks everywhere. Okay.
By the way, I do think that's a good name for a water company. Hot Rock Water.
Hot rocks. Hot rock water. That's actually trademarked. All right. Trademarks.
Yeah, if you want to keep something
steal.
private, don't put it on a podcast.
Yeah. There is there is one thing I do want to talk about as well. Us being, English white folk.
Yeah.
We're on an island.
Mm-hmm.
How are we going to deal with sunburn?
Well, my initial feeling here is that, we'll have obviously had some kind of tanning oil with us. No.
Oh yeah.
We'll my initial feeling is that we'll be under the cover of trees for a lot of this time. So we won't necessarily be out in the sun all that much. However, what we'll have to do is we'll have to just, I think, deal with the initial burn. Now, because you're quite ginger, sucks to be you. So you're.
I've literally just have a ginger beard. That's it.
So you're ginger,
Right.
and you're gonna burn.
Isn't
you'll
your
have already
beard
been
ginger
burned.
as well?
You are.
Your beard's ginger as well.
I have some auburn in my beard.
Oh, sorry. I have some auburn. Yeah, ginger.
So, but it's not completely ginger. It is dark.
But it is.
Not as
So
ginger
it's
as
ginger.
yours.
But it's ginger.
No, it's dark with some
You're a
auburn.
ginger minga.
You're a minga.
You're a minga, mate.
But yeah, I think we'll have to deal with the initial sunburn and just ride that out. And then when it comes to, we'll eventually start to tan, and then we'll kind of get a little better at dealing with the sun. But ultimately, we don't have any sun cream. I don't know how you make sun cream. I don't think Bear Grylls ever did an episode on making sun cream from the wild. So maybe what we could do is just keep our sun. If we ever found some, I know what we could do.
Go on then.
Aloe vera plants.
Aloe vera.
Aloe vera.
Aloe vera. You're right.
Straight away, start putting aloe vera on your skin, even before you've gone into the sun, just to kind of help it and keep it vitalized. Mate,
this is the type of big brain thinking I need, okay?
This is what I expect from you, Joel.
Stop. And this is where I'm gonna make this point as well. I don't know how we didn't think about this, or how you didn't think about this. Why are you going into the jungle to try and capture animals that are probably going to outrun you, know the environment better, when you can just stab a stupid fish in the shore?
Well,
if you're making a spear, you can stand in the water, look in the water, wait for a fish to come along, be like, dead. You know?
I mean, I've never tried to catch a fish with a spear, but I'm sure it's not that easy. Surely it's got to take some learning. And
I bet, mate, it's probably easier to spear a fish than it is to catch a small creature in a jungle.
Maybe. To be fair, we're now in, this is kind of conjecture now, because I've never tried either of these, apart from, as like I said, picking up a pigeon. Which,
have you gone fishing?
No. When I was very, very young, but other than that, no.
Well, if you've ever gone fishing, you'd realise how stupid fish are. Okay? So, I don't think it'd be easy, but I think it'd be a lot easier to spear a fish in ocean waters than it would be to, catch a small creature like a hog in a jungle.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, true. To be fair, you don't even need a fishing rod. You just need some kind of line that you can rely on. And then you, like you say, a little bit of a hook or something on the end of it. Or a spear. Or even just a big net that you can put into the ocean.
Or a big net.
And just swipe it across. Okay, fair shout.
And plus, there is also the element that, if you stab a fish, Big Mommy's not going to come along and be like, where's my baby? I'm going to hunt them down. If you steal a boar, or, like a small cub, Big Mama Puma's coming out to find where that cub's gone.
Oh, I don't know about you. I would not be able to go and take a cub and just eat it. I couldn't do that.
What small animal what are you talking about? Because hogs aren't small. Hogs are big animals.
Yeah, they are
like
quite
pigs.
big, aren't they? Well, pigs come in all shapes and sizes, to be fair.
Pigs are big. Pigs are like big, as big as us on all fours and fatter.
Let me think. In all fairness, I don't know what kind of small creatures you'll find on an island, but I'm presuming there'll be some. There's got to be some.
Would you be more confident in catching a snake or a fish?
Yeah, fish. Let's do fish.
There we are. Simple as. I mean, snakes are probably easier to catch, to be fair. But if you get bit, that's game over.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what you're gonna do? You're gonna come over and be like, "I got bitten by a snake. Can you suck out the venom?" I'm like, "No, I'm busy.
Come on, I'm busy. I'm busy making hemp.
I'm busy making beds. Okay, for us to sleep in. Sort your shit out. Go and catch some fish."
So let's say, okay, you're on with the bed. It's going well. Let's say I've managed to create some kind of rudimentary spear or net or something, and I've caught some fish. And at this point, the sun's getting real low, big guy.
Yeah.
Right? At this point,
stars in the sky, really romantic, firelit dinner.
Yeah, so this is where the problems start to arise, because if we have a nice fire on the beach, that's okay, but surely we're going to be attracting quite a lot of attention from any animals that are in the vicinity.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
How are we going to safeguard ourselves while equally having a romantic dinner? A romantic fish dinner on fire.
I mean, we could have weapons on hand. That's always a start. And if we are on the beach, there's less of a chance of the jungle animals coming out, unless there are like wild cats.
Yeah.
I think the biggest issue we'd run into would be like wild cats being in the jungle, like leopards or pumas or shit like that. The boars and the stuff like that wouldn't be an issue, but the wild cats, if there was any, would be.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think at this point we don't know what's on the island. Let's say we don't have any troubles on the first night, right? We start off in kind of easy mode. The island's like
first night in Minecraft.
You can chill. Yeah, don't worry. There's no creepers coming at you. There's no zombies. Yeah, skeletons.
Yeah.
So we're cooking our fish and it's going well.
Yeah, we've had a good night. Let's say we've got like a nice perimeter. We built a little bit of a shelter. We're all comfortable. How long do you think we would last before being like, right, fuck this, let's try and build a raft and leave?
Well, first of all, I think once you're stable with water and you can reliably catch food, and if you've got, if you can harvest some of the greens on the island as well, so you're getting a little bit of vegetation from the island as well. I think once you've got that down, your sustenance is good for a while. It's going to be limited. You'll be sort of malnourished by the time you get back, but you've got it down. I think the idea of leaving on a raft is kind of a problematic one because, first of all, I presume you'd have some kind of awareness where you were in the world when you went down, so you'd have some idea roughly of what kind of ocean you're in, and how buggered you absolutely are, or not.
And to be fair, we did arrive on this island by a boat crash, so leaving on another boat might not be the smartest idea.
Oh, it could be like the Bermuda Triangle or something, where
the Triangle was just stuck
down. Yeah,
limbo, constant.
I tell you what, I would want to do, right? And this is something which I've heard is possible. I'd love to be able to either train your eyes to be able to see more clearly underwater, or be able to make some kind of goggle contraption that you can use underwater. Because I'd love to go exploring around the island in the water, see what's there, see if there's anything historic that's there, or if there's any other boats that have crashed, or, anything like that.
See, this was going to be a question I was going to ask, right? If you were on said raft or out in the open, how far and how deep would you go before? Are you scared of depths at all? Are you scared of the unknown?
I wouldn't say I have if I was in the water and it was really deep and I was just in the water, I wouldn't be overly happy about it because I'd be like, there's a lot of shit down there. I can't see.
Like, just picture yourself right now. You've gone swimming. You're like, la da 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 da. I've got some goggles. Let's go diving. See what you can find.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the island's getting smaller, and you're out in this deep blue ocean.
Yeah.
And you look down and you can't see past your feet.
At that point...
Is that not slightly terrifying?
That is horrifically terrifying. because it's like you say, if there's enough water for a whale to swim in, you have no idea what you're going to find.
Gives me shivers, honestly, thinking about it. It's not. I've gone snorkeling once, right?
Yeah,
and it was terrifying because all you need is one thought to be like, "There's a shark underneath, yeah," and you're shitting yourself, right? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not scared, so to speak, of sharks because I know 9 times out of 10 they won't attack humans. But it's just like, it's weird. It's such a weird feeling of like being under the water, not being able to see much, and then being like, yeah, you're gonna die.
And also,
octopus incoming.
To know that there are so many predators there that have their senses honed for hunting in that environment, and to you it's so alien and so distracting that you don't know which way is up. I had a weird experience like this, 2 experiences like this, in Spain, in fact. So we went to a beach in Spain for a family holiday, and there was a lovely little reef. It was really gorgeous. It was quite small, and we had, goggles and what have you. So we dive in, and there were loads of fish everywhere, and it was probably about sort of 40 feet, 50 feet out into the ocean this went, and it was, about, 60 feet wide. So it was a sort of a nice little area. And we were swimming about, looking at all of the fish, trying not to cut yourself on coral, and they were like swimming through underwater arches and stuff, and it was amazing. Really, really good fun. And then as we swam out further, you get to a point where you reach the end, and the drop off was scary. And do you know, it was just like in Finding Nemo. Do you know, when you get to the drop off and all you can see in the distance are just jellyfish hanging in the water and as it goes into the depth, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's all you could see. And goodness. I was like, I don't want to go out there.
No, thanks.
Not about that life. No, thank you. Not for me. And I was like, there's tons of jellyfish, which sure they're small. They were only like 10 centimeters tall, but I don't know if they can do any damage to you. I wouldn't want to find out.
No.
And yeah, that was that feeling of like, oh.
It is. It's that like spine tingle of like, I'm gonna die.
Not nice.
So, you've got your underwater goggles and you've gone exploring out this island to find some historic events.
Yeah, let's say we find a couple of bits and bobs. There's maybe some more tools. Maybe like a chest with some, I don't know, some just like packets of rations in it or something silly like that.
Yeah.
So we've got a few extra supplies. There's a tape recording there with a captain's log.
Yeah. A 4-digit code for the next island.
A blueprint, a
blueprint for a machete
to build an engine.
Sorts of, a mama bear, stressed. Just standard stuff.
Bruce. There's Bruce out there too.
Bruce is out there, munching away at a raft that doesn't exist.
Yeah, so we find a couple of things, but like you say, you reach a point around the island where there's a drop off into the ocean, and you're like, yeah, that's as far as I'm going to swim. So you go back. So let's say on the horizon we can't see a single thing. We don't see any ships. I would say, I'd give it probably a couple of months before we decide to set sail. Like, okay. I'd want us to find food that we can pack and find food that we can actually, keep for weeks on end. And then if we set sail, to give ourselves like enough resources to try and set ourselves good for like a month. See if we can bump into any ships. Or see if we can get into any shipping lanes or anything like that. My one fear, and this is bigger fear than the unknown, right, is swimming around big boats. That to me is worse.
Oh my god.
Like,
have you seen the image of the Titanic next to modern day cruise liners?
It's
holy
tiny.
Shit, it's terrifying. Because the Titanic's huge. I've got, like, down the road from my house is literally one of the Titanic's anchors.
Oh, of course, okay? Yeah, it is, because it's Birmingham.
And that is massive, like, huge. And I've been on a cruise before, and you just feel so insignificant.
Yeah.
Genuinely, it's ginormous.
I went on
that just coming as you're swimming casually this gigantic I'd shit myself as well if there was a whale, like a sperm whale or a blue whale.
Yeah.
That just comes next to me. Oh, I did a VR experience underwater. A sperm whale comes like right next to your visor, and I had to take the visor off because I genuinely shit myself. It wasn't fun.
Well, I think the idea of swimming around boats for me is really creepy because they're just so big and they're so obtuse, and they're so, it's just this one massive metal container with a huge propeller at the back.
Yeah.
And the problem with boats is that if you, let's say, first of all, the front of the boat obviously has that cutter going through the water, the kind of blob on the front. And that's going at what, 20 to 30 miles an hour? If that hits you, it's gonna break you. But let's say you manage to slip down the side and avoid it. The side's rough and full of barnacles, that's going to cut you up. And then as you slide down the side of the boat, you're then caught in the... Oh, I'm going to sneeze.
Oh.
Sorry.
God bless.
God does bless. Blessed, praise the Lord.
Jesus Christ.
As you get pulled down the side of the boat, you're then getting sucked into the water that goes through the propeller, and if that happens, it's fully game over.
Game over.
But I think I'd die of a heart attack before then anyway, because I'd find it too scary.
I think I'd agree with you on that one.
So if there was a raft, I'd really hope that they'd see us before, and they could drop a line for us.
Well, this is probably like my last situation I want to propose then. So we've had a good life, okay? We've got a tan, gorgeous bods.
Yeah, we've got buff
we've
from working out.
Ourselves. Yeah, we're just like calisthenics on the beach. All right, we've got like an obstacle course through the tree line.
Avoiding all pumas.
This island is ours, okay? We've made friends with the local pigs. So we've got that going. It's all fine and dandy. Then all of a sudden, me or you breaks our leg.
Oh, gosh.
Or has an injury.
Yeah.
Okay? It's our first injury. And we're just like, oh shit. And then all of a sudden, we've got scurvy on our teeth because we've got no citrus, we've got no lemons.
To be fair, I would hope that you could there would be some citrus fruits there. And also, there would be something that we could clean enough and actually brush our teeth with a little bit. We'd be in bad shape.
Say there isn't.
Oh.
We should say there isn't,
okay.
Right? So we've now one of our teeth are rotting, probably mine, because my teeth are awful. So my teeth are rotting, and your leg's broken, or you've got like a gash, like you slip down you're doing calisthenics, you're pulling up on the tree, boom, big boy muscles, and then that's it. Tree breaks, you land, stick goes right through your calf muscle. Ooh, ouchie.
Right, so
big ouch. What are you gonna do?
Well, this is a bit of an heart attack moment because I'd hope we'd be able to say,
heart attack.
Here's something I prepared earlier. And what it is, it would be that at some point during our distillation process of the water, I would do this with seawater quite a lot, and what we'd do is we'd build up some stores of salt. So that in the event of a gash, in the event of a cut, or any kind of break of skin, what we've got fresh water and salt that we can make a nice clean saltwater solution to clean any gashes with. Painful, but it would work. And also, furthermore, we might have even, depending on what we find on the island, we might have even been able to make alcohol, potentially.
I doubt it, but carry on.
I'm just thinking about having a good time. So it's
mate, I could be stranded on an island with you for months and probably still not need alcohol. I'll be fine. Still not touch it.
And also, to be fair, this might be your perfect thing. You're like, I don't have to speak to anyone else I don't know.
Hey, I'd thrive. You telling me like sunny days, an open beach with an open sea, a jungle to explore, animals around me. I'd fucking love it. It'd be great.
It does sound good.
As a personal punching bag, that's you. Great.
As dire as the situation would be initially, as long as you can get a stable sense of, continuity, you'd be mint for a while anyway. So, I'd like to think that we can quite quickly create some clean saltwater solution that we can use to treat the wounds. Unfortunately, there would be a really horrific bit where we just got to kind of brush the wound out and make sure it's really clean.
You got to pull. You got to pull the bloody stick out of your leg.
All right, yeah. Well, let's say you've done that and you've got all the shards out and what have you, and you've made some, little tweezers, or you found some tweezers diving in one of your captain's logs video file chests.
Yeah.
And yeah, you've cleaned out the wound a little bit. You do your best with the salt water. At that point, you just have to use hemp or whatever you've got, clothes, whatever you can find, just to tie it up, keep it together, and just absolutely hope for the best. Just hope that what you've got is going to hold and that it doesn't get too infected, and just keep it as clean as possible.
And here's me just in the background pulling out my teeth.
Yeah, like...
Alright, wait just 1 second, mate. Keep your fucking mouth open, yeah. Oof.
So I think, if you get a leg break, the horrific thing that you're facing is, because there's nothing if they say there's no break in skin, it's just a bone break. The worst thing is that, you can create some kind of cast, but you can't realign the bone. Yeah. So you're going to have a bone that's going to fuse together wrong, and you won't be able to walk properly ever again.
On the off chance, what if you couldn't repair the injury? What if we hadn't figured out at this point, we've had a good life, but what if we haven't sterilized saltwater solution or something like that? Or what if that's not what we think about?
You just start saying your goodbyes. It's like, listen, G, it's been good, man. I'm glad we managed to get our dream bodies. But this is the end of the road.
This is it. This is the end for us.
And then
I used your body as trade.
You're trying to trade with seamen to be like, yo, take this.
Say with seamen,
as in sailors, not.
No. You're just trying to trade with seamen on an island. Who am I supposed to give that to? Okay, the fucking snakes. Here you go, love. Here's my sperm bank.
Oh, grim, nasty. But yeah, I would like to think that we'd be cautious enough. Maybe not you with your skiing, but I'd like to think that we'd be cautious enough to not get ourselves into a position where we actually get really badly hurt. Okay, maybe we fall, we get some bruises, cuts, maybe even a gash. But I'd like to think that I've gone so far 24 years without breaking a bone. So I'd like to think that when put in a position that I need to look after myself, I'd be able to do it without being an idiot.
I feel like the worst thing for me would be swimming in the ocean and getting sand cuts on my feet and legs. Honestly, that's why I don't go to... Yes, why I don't go to the beach, because I swim in the ocean, right? And the salt water, tenderizes your calves and your feet. So then when I run on the sand afterwards, the sand actually cuts, or feels like it cuts my skin.
I've never had that, ever. That's really strange.
Horrible. I hate it so much. It's like I've got little cat scratches on my legs from the sand.
Having said that, I do. Well, the two things I do get. Number one, really bad chafing after I've been in the sea. The chafing's so bad.
Okay.
That's just because I've got big legs. And number two is when you're in the sea and you get your skin does get, say, quite tender, quite salty, and then you rub something on it because it's been exfoliated quite a lot through the sand and all the salt. You rub something and you're like, ooh, my skin is raw.
Falling off.
So I definitely don't like that. But do you know what? I really, really want to book a holiday to an island a bit like this now.
Yeah,
I really want
to. Be honest,
to.
We'll have to give it a try when we've got nothing else left to lose. Or I'll tell you what we could do. I could, in 10 years' time, when I finally get a girlfriend, and I'm morally sane, we can book a double date to an abandoned island and just see how long we last.
So why don't we say a million listens, a million downloads, and we'll book
a million downloads, and we'll go and see how long we can last on an island. And we'll take tape recorders with us,
tape. No.
We'll record.
We'll take like solar panels for a battery charger or something, and take some proper.
No. We've got to take tape recorders so we can record our podcasts while we're there, and then when we get back, if we survive, they find it, and if we don't, they'll find it anyway.
Like some kind of black box recording of our holy bad experience. What will happen is someone will find us because they're like, oh, this is a really nice beach not far from the main road. Why don't we go down here? And they'll find us there.
Sprawled out on the beach, like, oh, help me.
I need medical attention.
The sap didn't work. The sap didn't work.
I'm still not convinced about the sap. I need to go and look into that.
Yeah, look at a video, and then once you've found out, we can book our tickets once we get 1 million downloads. So please, 1 million downloads by next week, and we'll go to an island.
By next week, and we'll go to an island.
Next week, we'll go to an island.
We don't say which one. It could be, it could be the Isle of Man, could be the Isle of Wight, could be Hawaii, but we will go to an island.
What they don't know, Joel, is we're already on an island.
And we have been for years.
Big brain. Okay. Huge.
Massive.